what's going on, everybody? It's JEDIOSHI here for Thursday. We are not doing skills day today. We're doing a market assessment and update given the crazy action we've had over the last, call it 12 or 18 hours. Ever since last night, we've seen some crazy stuff. We're here to cover it, and this is basically what you need to know. But before we get started, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and that'll really help us. Really help the channel out. So I appreciate that. So let's look at this. All right, so we had a really unexpected action. Well, last night sell-off was not that unexpected because we were looking for levels below us. But this is the 1 hour chart. You can see we were selling off into about midnight last night, Central Time. And but ever since then, it's been up. And then we had a massive move, relatively speaking, a massive move. Bitcoin turned green on the day. Equities markets turned green on the day, and just a massive pump. We're going to take a look at that here. So this is the daily Bitcoin price chart. I think the big question we're all wondering is this the bottom? Is this it? Do we follow the fractal, or do we go up only from here? And I posted in the Telegram that honestly, the only way to know that you confirmed your bottom is once you pass it. The same with tops too. You don't know you're at a top until you pass it. You have signs and indicators and things like that. And you can guess and speculate, but there's no way to confirm it until you go. But I will say that when we were looking at target levels or levels to the downside to be watching, we did pass some. We didn't quite get to 33K, but we broke this 35.6 level that I was watching and fell right through it and got to as low as on Coinbase, this is 34,322 it looks like. So I thought we came a little bit lower than that, but yeah, didn't quite hit into the 33s like I thought. But so is this it? Let's take a look at some of the chart features. One of the things I'm looking for in a signal system is a reversal. So let's go through this on the flip side first, and then we'll look at it on current. So for a breakdown sell signal type indicator, what I look for is a breakdown here and a breakdown in RSI, right? Okay. So we had all that. And we had a breakdown here and a breakdown here. This was a sell signal right here. On the daily. Pretty big. Now what I'm looking for is the reverse. So sometimes these are a little bit harder to call out and say, yes, that's it. Because you can draw this line at different angles. And as we saw, back here, sometimes they get violated. So the conditions that I'm looking for, let me just show you and share with you what I'll be talking about in the Telegram. A violation and a break up of this trend line with this data. Now, is that good, or do we have to expand it? We'll have to watch it as we go. That's just how it goes with these. At some point you do break, and you break and break, and that's your signal. You could say here that we did that. Look at RSI, put in a bottom, a relative lower low, and look what it does to the bigger structure. So now we have a low at 33 on lower RSI, and now we have a higher low on RSI and price. So if this is it, and we're following the fractal, we know the fractal goes, basically down here, and then basically straight up. So we'll see. Have we broken the fractal? 12 hours ago, I would have told you, yes, we did. But now we seem to be back in the pattern. And so it's hard to make a call at this point, honestly. But we are seeing signs of reversal here. This looks like you can see maybe a mini inverse head and shoulders here. I don't count on that so much. But look at structure. You had a high point, you had a high, you had a lower high on RSI, a lower high, you had a break of structure, a break of RSI, and you fell. Now the RSI is what I call reset. Let me just do this. Now the RSI is what I call reset. So in my world, the way I see things, we can move up again. I look for resets back here. Low points, RSI needs to reset. You just see it over and over and over on all your charts, 1 hour, even down to 5 minute. The RSI comes up here, and then what I want to see is I want to see it actually come back and reset. So I look for this, and I look for that. And I'm going to show you guys in the 1 hour how this was pretty straightforward, honestly. So let's look at let's look at Dow Jones before we do anything. So what I want to see here, again, I have the 1920 fractal on the Dow Jones, right? So this is today's candle. We dropped all the way down to 32.3, call it, and rallied all the way back, and we put in a green candle. But notice this, we have not broken this downtrend yet. This could be a relief pump, could very easily be a relief pump. That we have not broken our RSI structure. We are low on RSI, but we're not seeing strength. So if this is a reversal, big if, right? If this is a reversal, what you need to see is price break trend and come out and start building strength. You need to see RSI coming out, building strength, coming up above this line here. And then I think we can see some upward movement here. If this is the bottom, this very well may be a relief pump on the way down to some lower level. Okay, so don't forget that. And if that happens, I believe crypto will be under more pressure. We saw the markets moving tick for tick together over the last, many days, but specifically the last 24 hours, right? So look what we had here. This is interesting, right? So this was at the end of this trend. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red days in a row. Kind of an orderly sell-off. A massive bullwick on the bottom of this candle. I apologize for the fractal being in the way here, guys. A massive bullwick on the end of this candle. Looks like this, a massive bullwick on the end of this candle. The next day was kind of a long wick candle with small body. We may get some of that, but this started the reversal, right? So we're seeing that a long bullwick here may start the reversal. However, given the geopolitical tensions and everything that's going on, it's really, honestly, it's pretty uncertain. So to kind of get a gauge on risk environment and that sort of thing. But when I look at the charts and I see this, that's bullish. I want to see a break, and I want to see this, at least consolidation here, at least sideways, at least take us from downward to sideways before we move up. And if that's the case, and we talked about this on the live stream yesterday, there's two theories. One is, we do blow off markets, and the other is that perhaps this doesn't blow off, but perhaps all markets retrace. Bitcoin retraces, Dow Jones, S&P, that sort of thing. Before we jump into the 1 hour Bitcoin chart, I want to show you the S&P fractal that I was talking about and mentioned to you that I would show you another fractal. So this is basically a pull of this area in 2017, 2018. I've just seen this on Twitter a few times. It's not my own work, but I wanted to show it to you because it is interesting. If I take the bars pattern here, and let's say I'm going to copy this data, and I'll copy it back to the top. Okay, so what you do is you just drag it over, and then I'm going to, I'll stretch it. I'll have to stretch it, right, to get it to kind of match. But basically, the theory is, okay, let me do this. Okay, the theory is, and I've seen a lot of people kind of claim this might be that. Switch the color here. That this, all of this, might be what we're doing now. See that? And then that might come later. So whether or not that happens, whatever, we have to see. But let's move the fractal on here. Basically, I'm going to do some work. Clean this up a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, I take the fractal and I stretch down, kind of like that, to match. Kind of like that, right? So look, looks pretty similar. Now on fractals, they don't have to entirely overlay the whole thing, but it's more of a general idea and on structure, right? So on structure, this fractal back from 2017, 2018 has not yet reached a bottom point. Doesn't say much more than that. I don't subscribe to the fact that this fractal is the gospel for what's going to happen, but it is an interesting point. We did have a retrace, a kiss of the rejection off the fib level. A new low was formed, and look how far we came down. Okay, and what does this do? This forms a much bigger A, B, C, right? So, and we've talked about this many times, but on the live stream, yes, there's definitely a chance that this is not over. This was just a relief pump rally, something to kind of get excited about. It got crazy, and there's more downside ahead. But this is what I wanted to point out. If this plays out, if this is true, let me show you where it is on time. It looks to be about first week in March. Bottom and V bottom out. So that would give us March up only. Now, if this happens, I don't think Bitcoin's going to hold support at 33. I think if this happens, I really expect Bitcoin to go 30 or maybe a wick sub, right? And then we V bottom out that way. So we'll have to see if this is it. I'm not seeing it on a break of resistance yet. We're not seeing it break. It has not broken trend yet. Made a new low. It did really hard off the bottom. Kind of a surprise. All markets are closing green today, and but it has not yet broken structure or trend. So that's that. But let's take a look at the last thing I want to show you today is the 1 hour chart. So this is kind of all you really need to know. And looking at the lower time frames, let me show you something. Okay. What is, and I pointed this out with the JEDIOSHI system, right? What is this? And what is this? You could draw like that. Or for me, it's when I come back inside this range at 65. So what is this? On this data right here, on this candle, on the break of trend, a breakdown of RSI, there's your short signal on the daily. Oh, sorry, on the hourly. That's all you need to know. That's a short signal. And basically, that's a condition to go short, and you don't reverse it until you break back up. This breaks back up. However you want to do it, basically you see the RSI come back in here, right? You're coming up on strength, boom, you clear here, you break trend on price, boom. So your playbook is basically short here, ride the fall, long on strength, ride it up. So 2 trades really. Short, ride it overnight. That was hard to do. Actually, long was like early this morning, which was hard. I was sleeping, right? But in here was a signal to go long on the hourly. So flip long, and then here you go. I was not expecting this, honestly. Very surprised to see that. But the market's just jumped, right? So what can we tell from this? Let's go back to, on the Dow Jones, we're waiting. The equities markets have not broken their downtrend. Although we had big green days today, the equity markets have not broken downtrend. Bitcoin is looking promising. We recall we had relative strength on this green candle, right? We looked at Dow Jones, whatever, 6 days of red. This was a relative strength day. So now we're seeing this. We're seeing some promise. We're not seeing as bullish of indicators in the equities markets as we're seeing in Bitcoin, which is very interesting. So that's all I had for today. Just want to review some charts. What are the charts looking like today? What can we tell from the movement, and what we need to be watching for? So enjoy the video. Please like the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you tomorrow. Thanks.